Go! What's up, guys, and welcome back to another episode of Gaming with Nimbus, and today we are going to talk about Pokemon Violet and Pokemon Scarlet. These two games right here and the whole hoopla about it. We're going to review the game. I've already beaten Violet and I'm starting I already beat Violet and I'm starting Scarlet now. But you know, the game are the same, so I could make this review, okay? Now, I know what everybody's going to say about this game. Oh, glitchy here, glitchy there. Oh, it's really bad. I can't believe the Pokemon and Game Freak, they threw out this game. You're 100% correct. I am going to get to that. I'm going to get to that and how I feel about what is going on with Game Freak and how they make their games and what they should do going forward. But I'm also going to talk about everything good that they did in this game, because I played every single Pokemon mainline Pokemon game. I own every mainline Pokemon game. And I have to say, I haven't been this hooked on a Pokemon game in a long time. I want to say since X and Y. Okay, and I know a lot of people have their gripes with every single Pokemon game that comes out. That's fine. Everyone has their opinion. So let's go into the cons, because that's what everyone wants to hear. I'm fine with that. Starting off, yes, this game is glitchy. I really haven't experienced really bad glitches. I've experienced little glitches here and there. My game has never crashed, thank you God. So I've seen people's games have gone like crazy, and I know that people's games have glitched out really bad, like this. So I get it. Trust me when I tell you that I get it, and you have every right to say something. Visually, the game does not look great. It's weird. It's not that it doesn't look great. Like, the actual characters and the people that you interact with, they look actually really good. But then when you get to like the open world, it looks iffy. It looks weird. It doesn't look polished. It's not the best. It really isn't. And I understand why people are very upset with this game. And I understand why it's gotten the scores and the ratings that it has. I get all of that. What other cons that it have? I don't know. I personally think that's mostly the cons that I have. Any little minor things like people complain about that there's no voice acting, I totally agree. We should have voice acting by now. Why not? Okay, whether we get it or not, it's not a big deal to me, but I totally 100% understand why people are upset that there's no voice acting. We're on a Nintendo Switch. This is supposed to be like a new, more developed, next-gen, quote-unquote, Pokemon game. So I get why people are upset. All the other things I wasn't too upset with, I was fine with. I think what Game Freak should do is hire another company to do these Pokemon games. I don't know if they just are not technically inclined to do this, or technical. I don't know how to even say this without saying you don't know how to do your job properly. That's basically what it is. But I don't know if just they're lazy or they just don't know how to make a game like this correctly. I don't know. I don't work there, obviously. So I think what they should do is get an outside company that could do the game the way they want it done, and have them polish the game, make the game from the ground up. That way it looks presentable. That way it looks like, yeah, it looks good. It looks good, you know? So those are basically the bad parts of the game. I don't know what to tell you. All right, people are like really upset about this, and they have every right to be. Now, I'm gonna go into what I really enjoyed about this game. I love the open world aspect of this Pokemon game. I know a lot of people are saying that sometimes they felt like they got lost and blah, 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 blah. I actually enjoy that. I actually, in an open world game, getting lost and trying to figure it out myself, I actually enjoy that because it makes me feel like I'm exploring the world. So I don't have a problem that I feel like I'm lost. I don't know what to do. I'm going to let you know. Apparently, I played this game on hard mode because I was supposed to go left on the map to one of like the first gyms. I went right. And I hit a gym leader that had like level 30, level 40. Yeah, like that. But it didn't really affect me because when I play Pokemon, I literally like level up my Pokemon. I trained them so the game should be easier. So when I got to that gym, I really didn't even notice. It wasn't until like I was like, okay, I've explored a good portion of the right side. Let me go see what's on the left side. And when I went and I hit the first gym, it was like level 14. I was like, oh snap, I was supposed to go this way. And I didn't. I went the opposite way, but whatever. But that's what I enjoy. I enjoyed that because I'm exploring and going through the game the way I wanted to, the way I've always wanted a Pokemon game. Whether you just do what you want to do, you go to what gym you want to go, you do what missions you want to do, whatever it may be. And in this game, you have a lot of stuff to do compared to any other Pokemon game. At least that's my opinion. Okay, in this game, you had your typical 8 gym leaders, right? And then on top of that, you had your team that you had to be, like in every Pokemon game, whether it's Team Rocket or whatever it may be in this case. In this case, it's Team Star. You had to go and beat, I think it was 5 of them, the 5 leaders of Team Boss, and they would give you a badge, right? So you had 8 badges for the gym leaders, 5 badges for the bosses of Team Star, and you also had, I think it was 4 or 5 Titans, something like that, that you had to fight. It basically is like a Pokemon, whatever Pokemon it may be, whatever Titan it may be, and it's like oversized. They're really big, and you had to battle them to defeat them, and you got a badge for each of the Titans that you beat. So you had to get 8 gym leader badges, you had to get 5 Team Star badges, and you had to get 5 Titan badges. I think it was 5 or 4, whichever the case may be. You guys can correct me in the comments. So it was a lot of things you had to do, which I enjoyed very much so. Okay, so it was great going around, despite the fact graphically things were not the best. But when you were literally riding on your Pokemon and you were like looking at all these Pokemons in the wild just doing whatever, it still looked beautiful to me because it's like, this is what I've wanted since I first played Pokemon Red and Pokemon Blue. Like, this is basically what I wanted in a Pokemon game, and we finally have that. So excuse me if I may be being a little biased, but I grew up with Pokemon. I remember when Pokemon started. I remember getting Pokemon Blue and playing on my Game Boy. You understand? So to see where the game has progressed till now, I have to give Game Freak props on that, because this is the game that I grew up always wanting as a Pokemon game. So I kind of was able to look at all of the negatives aside and like just play the game for what it is, and I really enjoyed myself 100%. I think if you're like me, a veteran Pokemon player, you're gonna enjoy the game for the simple fact that this is the Pokemon game we've wanted. Can it get better? Yeah. Does it have areas that it needs to improve? 100%. Were they lazy here and there? Yes, they were. But on the overall, I was excited for the game. I enjoyed the game. I had a lot of fun with the game. I couldn't put down the game. I was playing that game every single day. Okay? So, I thought it was really good. Was it the best Pokemon game ever? Okay, we'll see. What I do know is that I'm excited. I know I said this about Arceus, but I'm excited for the next Pokemon game because hopefully, graphically and some other pointers, they make the game better. They take all the good elements of this game, which there are good elements of this game. There really is. There's a lot of good elements of this game, and they keep it and they make it better. That's what I'm hoping for the next Pokemon game. Okay, so I'm gonna tell you what the story is about in Pokemon, because the game has been out for a long time, and I'm pretty sure, you know, you probably played this already, or you've seen someone else play it. But if you haven't and you don't want to be spoiled, spoiler alert, skip this. All right, I'm gonna tell you what the game is about. So it starts off like any typical Pokemon game. You're going to go and you're going to start your adventure, but in this case, you're going to a Pokemon school. In my case, it was what was it called? I don't remember, but it was like grape. Whatever. It was not important. I was going to school to start my Pokemon journey. And in the school, first of all, the beginning of this game took forever to start. That, I have to say that. And I'm pretty sure a lot of you guys experienced that. It took forever to like get to the open world and start doing what you want to do. It took like an hour and a half, I think, an hour and 25 minutes, something like that. But it was something ridiculous like that. But whatever, I digress. But you go to the school, you get introduced to the professors and to the principal, I guess, or the dean, whatever you want to call him. And he gives you your first Pokemon. You find the legendaries right off the back, because that's going to be your travel Pokemon. You're going to use that to get around the world easier. You're going to ride them like a motorcycle, which I thought was pretty cool. That was also different in this game, that you got the legendary monster, the legendary Pokemon in the beginning of the game instead of towards the end, which I think that's pretty cool. I'm okay with it, because it was your bike. You needed him to get around, so I wasn't upset about that. So once you get all of that done, and he finally sends you off to the world, and he says you could follow 3 routes, either the gym leader route, to battle Team Star route, or to battle the Titans route. You don't have to pick one. You could do all of them. You could do all 3 routes, okay? You don't have to pick just one individually, okay? So you set off, and once you set off, literally, you could do whatever you want. I don't think the game holds your hand too much. I just go do whatever you want. You could go to, like I did, a higher gym leader. You might get your ass kicked, but that's up to you. If you want to go do that, you could go do that, okay? Which I thought was great. So, and that was the whole aspect of the game. So you went and you did what you had to do. Towards the end of the game, after you beat the Elite Four, which the gym leaders, I really like the gym leaders. I really like the gym matches. You had to do some form of quiz or test of whatever before being able to battle the gym leaders. Okay, so you had to like collect a certain amount of Pokemon, and then after you collect them all around the town, then you're able to go to the gym and battle the gym leader. That's like an example. So after, another thing that this game has is what's it called? I always call it just crystallization, but it's like terraforms in the sense that you could I don't know how to say the word, but your Pokemon could change its type once in the game. You only could use this form, I guess, once in the game. So let's say Pikachu, like the Pikachu that they gave you for free, like they gave you in the mystery gift. Pikachu is a thunder type, but when he terrorized, something like that, he becomes a flying type, and he's able to use flying moves because of it. So this, for competitive Pokemon, I think is crazy, because I've already seen like these professional Pokemon players create these Pokemon that are like damn near untouchable because they have a third type now, if you will. So it's kind of crazy in the competitive side because of this new mechanic that they put in Pokemon with this terraform. Crazy. And it's dope because while you're exploring the world, you can see like a Pokemon glowing, and that tells you that that Pokemon has a different Terra type than his normal type. And once you encounter that Pokemon starts off the battle in the Terra form that he has. So I think in one, you could see in the beginning of the game, towards the beginning of the game, you encounter a Jigglypuff that has a Terra form of water. And once you encounter it, he's already in his Terra form water, and you have to knock him out of the Terra form. That way you're able to catch him. It's pretty cool. Like, I'm not mad at it. I don't think, this gimmick is probably one of the best gimmicks in a long time in Pokemon. And I know that these professional Pokemon players are going to abuse this gimmick to no end, because it's kind of crazy. Like, I've always wanted to get into like competitive Pokemon, and I'm trying to like get into it and seeing things, and people have explained to me why this terraforms are like godlike and for some Pokemon. And now that I'm trying to understand it, it's kind of crazy. Like, it's kind of crazy, So yeah. So once you beat all of the gym leaders and all of the team star bosses, and you beat all the Titans, and you beat the Elite Four, you become the champion, you actually go to Area 0. Now, what is Area 0? Area 0, if you look at the map in Pokemon, there's like a big circle in the middle of the map that you can't go to regularly. But once you beat the game, you're able to go down that hole, if you will. It's like a big crater, right? And in that crater, you're going to, depending on what game do you have, right, you're gonna experience Pokemon from the past or Pokemon from the future, right? And there you're gonna beat your final boss, if you will, which is the professor that you picked, because each game has a different professor in the game, like a futuristic professor and a primal professor, if you will. So after you battle that professor and you beat that professor, you're able to go in and out of that Area 1 and train up and catch Pokemon there. It's pretty cool. I really enjoyed this Pokemon game. Okay, I can't say it's a perfect game. I can't say it should win Game of the Year, but for what it is, I really enjoyed the game. I'm telling you, for me to just finish this and go directly into this says something, because usually I always buy both of the games, but if I played one, I'll wait for a little bit and then I'll play the other one. Okay, but I'm going back to back on this one, and it's because I really enjoyed it. I like the open world aspect. I loved all of that. So I know, once again, they're probably babbling on, but it's fine. A lot of people said this is really bad. I would say if you're a really big Pokemon fan and you've wanted an open world Pokemon game for a long time, like I have, buy the game. Try it out. All right? Don't just go by everybody else and be like, yeah, it's bad, whatever, I'm not playing it. No. Try it out. You play it. You be the judge of it. Have your own opinion, okay? So, yeah, this is my review for the Pokemon game. End of the day, I really enjoyed it. Oh, another thing that we didn't talk about. Another thing that I really enjoyed about the Pokemon game was the online co-op. Yes, if you have 4 people in the same map, the game is like chugging along. It's like trying really hard to stay afloat. You can see it, but I really haven't played with like I haven't played with like 4 people on the map for that long. I've only played with like 2 or 3 people, and it seemed fine for me. So what the online is, you could actually bring 3 of your friends, does not matter what game they have, right, to your world, right? You could go to theirs, or they could come to yours. The dope part about this is that, let's say we're in the same map, we're in the same world, they could go off and do whatever they want. They could continue their story that they were doing in their game, and I could go off and do mine. It doesn't matter. It's not like they have to do what I'm doing because let's say I'm ahead of the game. I'm ahead in the game than my friend is. It doesn't matter. He doesn't have to do what I'm doing. He can't do what I'm doing. He has to go and do what he's doing, but we're all in the same map together. And I think that's pretty badass. So let's say if I were playing and he's doing a gym leader, I'm doing another gym leader, and I decide to get into a raid, he gets a message saying that I've entered a raid and if he wants to enter with me, and he could join and we do the raid together. And then once the raid is done, you go back to what you were doing again, which is freaking amazing. Another thing that I found was amazing. So let's say if I was playing Violet and my brother comes in, he has Scarlet, and we get into the game together, right? Because he has Scarlet and I have Violet, every Pokemon game that is exclusive to that region, to that game, is in the world with you. So if I can't catch a certain Pokemon because I have Violet, but I'm playing with my brother, that Pokemon will show up and I could capture it because of that, which I think it's amazing. That was a great idea. I was hoping that they did that, and they did, so I'm super happy with that. The raids are super fun. It's even more fun when you're doing it with your friends. So that's the game. That is my review. I really had fun with this game. Okay, and I think that if you're a Pokemon fan and you've been watching and playing Pokemon for a long time and you've been wanting an open world Pokemon game, I think you should buy the game and be the judge. You know, judge it yourself. Don't allow someone else to tell you, oh, the game is trash, don't buy it. And then you don't buy it and you kind of miss out on something that you probably wouldn't enjoy, you know? So my advice to you is that buy it. Hopefully Pokemon you know, fixes the game and the aspects that needs to be fixed. Who knows? But overall, I can easily give this game a 7 or an 8 out of 10. I know people might be like, you're crazy, you're nuts, whatever, fine. Again, I'm telling you my opinion. My opinion is not a fact. This is why I say if you are a fan of Pokemon, I think you should get it. And I'm pretty sure this game is selling like hotcakes anyways. But for me, I had a ton of fun with this game, and I'm pretty sure if you're a Pokemon fan, you'll also have a ton of fun with this game as well. Okay, guys, I'm gonna end the video here. If you like this video, don't forget to give me the thumbs up, comment down below, and as always, don't forget to subscribe. I'll catch you guys on the next episode of Gaming with Nimbus. Deuces.